recording.
There we go.
And we're recording. Woo-hoo! Let everyone know they're being recorded. Hey, we're being recorded.
All right, welcome to another edition, and the last in-season edition of the Huddle House. Ty's not with me tonight. We actually had a lot of technical difficulties leading up to this meeting, but I'm here with the two championship contenders fighting for the trophy this weekend, Lucas and James. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Doing well.
Pretty good. Just anxious.
Yeah, for sure. I get it. Well, I get it from at least last week's feelings, but big week for you guys. We had a lot of trouble getting this Zoom call going. It's not even Zoom actually. We're using Skype right now. Zoom was not working with us. But regardless, the show must go on. We had to try to get this going since it is the championship. So, just let's first off, just both tell me a little bit about your paths, Lucas. I don't really want to hear about yours, how you got. But James, tell me a little bit about your close matchup with Austin, James.
My matchup was shit. It was no good. I was watching, and early on, he had a few guys play early, like Kamara, who didn't do much. I had Stafford, and he had Puka blew up on me, but at least it was to the benefit of Stafford. But so going into that, after he had everybody play that way in the early games, I was like, okay, I'm in a decent spot here. As long as most of my guys produce, I was like, he had Tommy DeVito at quarterback, so I was like, as long as a couple of his guys don't go crazy and my guys at least perform up to par, it should be good. And then as the day was going and I saw my defense and my kicker decide to combine for, I think they got negative 1 point combined. Yeah. I was like, yeah, this isn't ideal. And he started to have his Lions guys go off. And I was just like, well, I know I have McCaffrey and Adams, but they're not in the best of spots in their matchups. And so going into that final day, like on Christmas Day, I was like, this is going to require some special stuff from my two guys and his guys to kind of underperform. And then Devontae Adams' game happened where his quarterback threw for 67 yards and he got less than a point. And I said, well, this is not going to be good. I even texted some people and I was like, well, my chances just went down severely. I was like, even if DeVito scores like 5, I'm in trouble. And then luckily he got benched. So
yeah, that was
from then on it was my heroes. Oh no, trust me, I had given up. I wasn't watching any of the games. They weren't on my TV. I was eating dinner, and then I got a thing saying that Tyrod Taylor was, and I was like, "What do you mean Tyrod Taylor's?" And then I checked it, and I was like, "Okay, it's not crazy likely." I was like, "But it's doable. It's real doable." And then the first half of that game happened, and McCaffrey got his touchdown, and I was like, "All he has to do is get 5 points, just 5," which that ended up being a lot closer than I thought it would be. The way that the 49ers were starting to go, they started to go away from him a little bit, which didn't make much sense to me, but in the end, my number 1 pick in the initial draft came through.
I feel like that's been the story of a lot of weeks for you, James. And McCaffrey is just like, the man never has a bad game, ever.
No, he carries. He's got a real big backpack on.
Yeah. I just knew the moment I saw like the DeVito situation, I'm like, James is gonna win. McCaffrey's gonna get 25 like he always does. It's just doesn't matter who he's playing. The man could be playing the Pro Bowl defense, all trying their hardest, nothing but all pro first team, and he would still get 25.
He's special.
Yeah, man's a beast. But Lucas, I guess I'll let you talk and recap a little bit of your matchup.
Well, last week was really frustrating for me because obviously we both had pretty down weeks, Matt. Both of us really, for a semi-final playoff game, really laid up some shitters. But
you're telling me.
Yeah, but there was a time where I didn't think I was going to win. I texted you the day before. I knew that was going to happen with Josh Jacobs. He was going to get ruled out. I was going to be screwed without a player. And then TJ Hawkinson went down early, and it was just not going well for me. Trevor Lawrence was literally Al-Qaeda for my team. And it was just horrible. But you played so awful
Yeah.
You put such a stinker up that it didn't matter. And I was still able to pull it out. So that was good. It was helpful when DeAndre Swift did have a good game on Monday night. That helped put the nail in the coffin for sure. But yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
It was just a terrible game. I could not have been more upset because, I mean, you got Ken Walker going up against Ryan Tannehill. Freaking Ryan Bum Tannehill.
Hey,
Thinking,
you watch
okay,
your mouth.
I'm like, the Titans aren't even going to get the ball. They're going to be 3 and out every single drive because Ryan Tannehill sucks so bad. Their Seahawks are going to get a lead. Ken Walker's just going to start running. They don't even have that good of a run
Ryan
defense.
Tannehill is about to have more championships than you do, Matt.
Shut up. And then Ken Walker does nothing. And then Pacheco fumbles. Well, they actually didn't fumble. They credited that fumble to him, even though he wasn't freaking his.
Actually, he lost his head.
What?
He scored a touchdown and then he got his head knocked off.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that too.
I said he scored a touchdown and it looked good, and then his head was done and he was out.
Hey, you could chalk that down to my 42nd injury in the last 3 weeks. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I have more guys on IR than we've had seasons in the league. It's ridiculous. And
hey, I don't think Jeremy will take that slander. He knows the feeling of these injuries. He's felt it hard.
Jeremy can relate to me. I'm not trying to say I'm the only one. Out of the current active playoff teams, Lucas is starting to feel a fourth of the dread I feel with injuries, and I don't even have the luxury of being quite as deep. So, and then Debo, who's put up
4.
Debo is putting up.
I think missing Jamar Chase is just about as bad as missing all the guys we have combined, Matt. Plus TJ Hawkinson. I mean, that's pretty bad, man. That's 2 really elite players at their position.
Yeah. But regardless, I knew it was going to be a bad week whenever the Steelers-Bengals game happens. And the third play on the Bengals drive, or the Steelers drive, is an 86-yard George Pickens touchdown. I just texted Lucas and I was like, okay, here we go. Mason Rudolph's about to look like Jerry or Joe Montana, excuse me, and just go crazy. And he did. The Bengals defense was absolutely pathetic. And also Jake Browning came down to earth, and the Steelers defense looked great. So I knew that was going to be a bad start. Then Debo does nothing. Kupp does nothing. But Mahomes, I think you could put Mahomes' family on ransom, and he'd still say the only way you're going to let him is if he scores a 20-point fantasy week, and he wouldn't do it. He just let him go.
Young Ho was really what carried your week into, out of Caleb territory.
Yeah, Caleb threw that diss in, and then I still actually scored like 0.5 more than him. So
yeah,
it was a good little insult, but it didn't actually make sense because I still outscored him, and that was the best week he's had all season, besides for the tie game.
I will say, I know the 5th place game teams were frustrated watching those top 4 let it left battle because Lucas was our highest scoring team at 109, and they both blew those scores out of the water.
Yeah. Well, not only would have Marcus beat Lucas, but Jordan would have beat you, James. We could have had a Marcus Jordan championship.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Can you imagine
That's a shame.
Marcus Jordan championship?
Instead, we're back for like round 3 or 4 of the Lucas and James championship.
Yeah, it's become a tradition in this league. Tradition like no other.
This is
championship. Yeah, what are you talking about? Not in the dynasty, maybe in redraft.
Not in the dynasty.
Yeah,
the last 2 years of the redraft, that was what it was. But one of us usually finds a way to the championship.
Yep. He
got
me
in
19, I got him in 20.
What?
He beat me in the championship in 2019. I beat him in the championship in 2020. And so we're against each other head to head in the championship for 1-1.
Oh, that's a rubber match.
Sort of a tiebreaker.
It's even, this is a tiebreaker.
Oh, you guys had a really great tradition in the redraft of like next to last week of the season, getting like one of the best players in the league for 4 of your scrubs. You were really good at that back in the redraft league.
Yeah, I was
I
hoping
don't know
I'd
what
learn
you're talking about.
how to do that.
You traded Jerry Judy James for like DeAndre Swift and Tyler Lockett or something like that. I remember this.
Yeah,
Craziness.
I just remember winning.
Yeah, craziness. You guys always find a way. I think.
Hey, stay active.
Yeah. Regardless, it is what it is. We're moving on. So let's kind of hear some trash talk on each other. Enough on me. Let's get the pot stirred.
Yeah, I mean,
What?
I would like to talk a lot of shit, but honestly, playing against Christian McCaffrey scares me. And like, if he can put up his 25, I don't know, that's fine. I can live with that. But if he goes for 35 or 40, I mean, that's real tough to come back from unless you got a guy like Katie going for the same. Like,
well, he's playing Washington, Lucas. So you're.
I know.
Look, see, but that's where I'm concerned because I'm hoping Jacoby Brissett can keep them in the game because if they get ahead by like 30, they're going to be like, Elijah Mitchell, Jordan Mason, come on in. We can rest this guy for the playoffs. I am praying that's not the case.
That would be huge for me if that could happen. I'll say that.
I can't have it. I can't have it.
Yeah.
What you're forgetting, James, though, is that if they do get up like 24-0 or something, it's more than likely at least 2 of those touchdowns are going to Christian McCaffrey.
Well, we gotta hope because I don't know. We've seen all the trash talk everybody's been throwing Purdy since last game, and now he gets to go up against Washington. Who knows?
Yeah,
Shanahan will be sitting here like, we want to make sure. Well, it better be 2 McCaffrey. Yeah, it's got to stay away from Ayuk and Debo and Kittle.
Well, I kind of don't care about this third place matchup. So if Debo plays bad this week, it's not going to bother me one bit. I'm in another league championship, and I'm playing against Debo in that one. So I would be okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, starting Joe Flacco and Pat Freiermuth this week terrifies me in the championship, but I got Ryan Tannehill on my bench, so things just go well for me when Ryan Tannehill.
That's lucky.
I'm really, really banking on that lucky star to come through for me. A lot of win. It starts tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
so
does.
Tonight's a big night. Tonight's a big night. Yeah,
big Jets and Browns game.
Yeah, I mean, it is a huge night. We got Joe Flacco and Garrett Wilson versus David Njoku. Is that all you have playing? Yeah, versus David Njoku.
Yeah, that's 3 players in one game.
Yeah, just Njoku. Star tight end. Yeah.
So
apparently under Joe Flacco.
We'll be done early on Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Throwing the ball.
Yeah, well, Garrett Wilson's got a tough matchup versus a really brutal Cleveland defense. And do we even know who the Jets are starting at quarterback tonight, James?
Trevor Siemian. Siemian at quarterback.
They're not giving it back to Zach Wilson?
No. Not for a third time.
Take the job if they tried.
Yeah.
Probably not.
We got Tyreek Hill on limited practice, questionable, Lucas.
This is a normal week for him. He sits out Wednesday,
He'll play.
limited practice Thursday.
Yeah.
He's a full go Friday, and
he'll play.
Yeah, not worried about him.
Yeah,
I am worried about Josh Jacobs and Jamar Chase. I really hope one of them at least plays. And I'm doubtful on Jamar, but I'm hopeful on Josh Jacobs. But I don't know.
He missed practice.
Yeah, I think Jacobs will.
Well.
I think Jacobs will. He worked out before the game last week.
I hope so, because Jameson plays on a Saturday, and that's who I'd probably have to put in there. I know. Add him to the Joe Flacco and Pat Freiermuth lineup for the championship game. My team didn't peak at the right time, man. Didn't peak at the right time.
I'm just hoping that
you did enough to get a bye, and then you happened to just absolutely obliterate my worst fantasy output in the last 5 weeks. So,
Yep, it's just 1 week. Just 1 week. Gotta get lucky once.
I'm just hoping my defense comes through this time. I played the Packers against the Panthers last week, and they sucked. Couldn't stop Bryce Young. Now I got the Jaguars this week against Bryce Young. The Jaguars haven't been stopping too many people, but it's Bryce Young and Carolina. Can they really do it 2 weeks in a row? And on the road.
I'll be praying they will.
I can't have it.
I'm surprised
Go,
you're giving them a
Bryce
chance
Young.
over the. I'm surprised you're not starting the
beat the
Rams
Giants.
against the Giants.
Tyrod's better than DeVito.
Yeah, but still the Giants.
Yeah, it should be an interesting week. We'll see. I'm gonna be nervously watching very closely.
All I know is everybody else is at 1.
What was that? Oh yeah. Literally every single person on James's roster plays at 1 o'clock, besides for
1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was how me and
So it'll
Lucas
be done.
was in the regular season. Lucas had every single person at 1. That's the first time I'd ever seen it like
That worked out well for me.
Yeah, because you put up like 170 that week.
I don't know. I just get nervous because I almost.
Early afternoon. I could just go enjoy it from 4:25 to midnight or whatever, not even thinking about football because I already knew I lost.
Yeah.
It was like no anxiousness.
I don't know. I always like having somebody a little bit later just in case I need points.
All right, so
Gives you a slight bit of hope.
I'm going to ask each of you a question. So you can't answer with McCaffrey, James, and Lucas. You can't answer with Tyreek Hill because those are your best players. But outside of those two, which matchup, I guess, do you guys like the most that you have in your starting lineup in terms of like the situation? Your optimism that they'll play well.
Hold on. Let me just take a gander real fast.
CD
I might
Lamb
disappear
Detroit Lions in
for
a
a second.
shootout game against two teams that are good, want to beat each other.
Yeah, CD against Detroit should be a really good matchup, especially at home. They're a different team at home.
Yeah, see, it's tough for me to pick one. Like, if it was a few weeks ago, I would tell you ETN against Carolina seems like he's going to feast and get me 20 points alongside McCaffrey. But with the way that the Jags line is looking,
James, you cut out. James?
Well, guys, this has been an excellent episode of the Huddle House. This is
It's
Lucas.
been a rough week, man.
Yeah, it has been.
And
But-
everything that could go wrong has gone wrong.
This weekend, a new champion will be crowned.
James said it disconnected. Okay, yeah, we're gonna give up on James.
He's recording the call anyway. None of this is being recorded.
Oh no, it says stop recording on mine. Like it says I can stop recording. Like I can do it.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, well,
Well, hopefully this makes it to the chat.
hopefully we'll
All right,
see if
man.
it'll actually let us upload it. All right,
Let's go,
well,
Buds.
good luck to you two. We'll see who wins. Well, is James back? No, never mind.